Good morning to you everywhere in the world. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor and founder of the Marriage Seal Academy. And I'm excited to be here. I don't know if you are excited as me, but I'm excited to be here with you today. And every Friday, we do this. We come to you, talk to you about marriage in 1 hour, and it is always explosive. And today is another Friday that we'll be doing this again. And again, I'm sure you are going to enjoy every single bit of it. And today, we are going to be talking about something important, dealing with body shaming in marriage. And let's see, who was the first to join in today? Evelyn. Evelyn, you joined in as early as 10:15, which means you definitely wanted to come and learn today. Good, good, good. And I greet you, Chema, Cordelia, I greet you. Oh, I see my conclavites here. Cordelia, Joy, Reina, I see you all. I greet you all. But more importantly, have you sent this link to somebody? This is a free class. It's always free on Friday. It's for everybody. So send it far and wide to family and friends. Send it now. Send it hurriedly so that they can come and join and learn something new about marriage. Because marriage is a continuum. Marriage is a journey. Marriage is something that you keep learning until you depart and go to heaven to meet our Father. So everyone should be involved in learning about marriage. And we are going to learn about marriage again today. So today, like I said, we are talking about dealing with body shaming in marriage. And within this time and 12 o'clock, we will be wrapped up, we'll be done, we'll have asked all our questions and answered everything, and we will be moving on. So, what is body shaming? Let me read this definition. Body shaming is the action or practice of mocking or stigmatization of someone by making critical comments about the shape, size, and appearance of the body. Let me take it again. So, body shaming is the action or practice of mocking or stigmatizing someone by making critical statements about the shape, the size, or the appearance of their body. So, in summary, when you make fun of somebody's body, you are body shaming the person. That's what body shaming is. And most of the time, body shaming is related to people who have weight, who are fat. Most of the time, that's what is related to. So the people who are body shamed the most are people who have very, very heavy weight. But interestingly, it didn't used to be like this some centuries ago. Some centuries ago, people that were body shamed were people that were thin. You didn't know that, right? Yeah. Because it was seen that if you had weight, then it means that you are affluent. That means you eat well, you live well. And then if you are thin, it means you are poor. And if you look at all those Renaissance paintings, when they paint women and even men, you see them all plump and fat. Go back and look at those pictures. It just shows you that this body shaming thing evolves from one generation to another. But the one we are in right now is body shaming for being fat. And that's what is happening worldwide. So body shaming is wrong. Let me say it from the beginning so that there is no ambiguity about it. Body shaming is wrong. When you make fun of somebody because of the person's body shape, is wrong. Completely wrong. And there's no justification for body shaming. Remember, body shaming is mockery. It's a different thing if you are advising somebody on the person's body shape. That's quite different from mocking the person or stigmatizing the person. So body shaming is completely wrong. Again, if you can hear me and you're here right now, please send this link. There's somebody that needs to hear this so that the person can be removed from the depression that body shaming has caused him or her. So I've said it again, body shaming is completely wrong. Worse still, it is even wrong in marriage. I mean, even if someone is body shamed outside, when you get into your marriage or into your home, being body shamed in your home is a disaster. So body shaming is wrong on all fronts, whether outside the home, inside the home, body shaming is wrong. And it should not be engaged in. Completely wrong. Unfortunately, it is the female gender that get body shamed the more. They are the ones who are attacked all the time about the way their body is. And this is not so far-fetched because you see, a man is attracted by what he sees. Who sees women? It's men. So if a man is attracted by what he sees, then you'd understand why it is that it is women that are more body shamed. In a marriage, it's women that are more body shamed. It is husbands that body shame the wives more. Of course, it happens that wives body shame the husbands in some cases, but you can almost say 95% or even 99% of the cases, it is the husband that body shames the wife. So body shaming is more on the female gender than it is on the male gender. However, let's look at some of the things, the targets of body shaming, some of the things in the body that people actually stigmatize or make fun of. Because it's not only weight. No, it's not only weight. People body shame due to weight. That's the first one, and which is the common one. So when you are fat, and I'm going to be telling you something about this being fat. Just follow me, okay? Because being fat is not being fat. I don't know if somebody just heard me now. Being fat is not being fat. Don't worry, I'll define it. Just follow me. So targets of body shaming: weight. Height is a target of body shaming. Yes, it's part of body shaming. So when somebody is too short, or let me not use the word too, let me use the word below average. Someone is below average short or above average tall, they are body shamed. Oh, you didn't know tall people who are body shamed? Go and ask them. I mean, people who are very, very tall, they are body shamed. In fact, especially when they were growing up, the body shaming was serious. Yeah. So body shaming happens to short people, it happens to tall people. Short people we can understand because people generally will laugh at them and look at them as people. In fact, you see a lot of memes of short people online. But tall people too are body shamed. I was watching a documentary a while ago of a family. They are all tall. In fact, their house, the doors, they all have to bend to go through the doors, and their head almost reaches the ceiling in the house. And all of them told stories of how they were body shamed when they were young and how they are still body shamed even now. They get into a place and everybody's looking at them and laughing. So height is also body shamed. Clothing is body shamed, especially for people who now have weight. So people who have weight, who of course wear bogus clothing, they are also body shamed for their bogus clothing. Food, yeah. So when people are eating gluttonously, they can be body shamed, especially when they also have a lot of weight. So you see people in a restaurant, in a fast food joint, and then they're looking and jeering at somebody who has a lot of food in front of him or in front of her. Age is also a target for body shaming. Yeah. People body shame people who are old. And that one is ridiculous. But it happens. So, as you get old, your body starts to lose the shape it used to have. And, your body starts to wrinkle. And then for women especially, the things that you use, the parts of your body that were a pride to you, your breasts, your bum, begin to lose shape. So age is also a target of body shaming. Another target of body shaming is hair. Oh, Dr. Happiness has just talked about this height we are saying. She says, they called me Iroko in secondary school because she was tall. Do you know what it is to be calling somebody Iroko? And you're passing, they just call you Iroko. Or maybe they functified it, Irokes. You pass, they say Irokes. That's body shaming. So I was talking about hair. Yeah, people body shame for hair also. Because for women, especially, I mean, it's only natural that you're supposed to have long hair. Then some women, maybe for one reason or the other, their hair is not as long as others, or it's not as nice as others. And so they are body shamed for it. So body shaming happens also for hair. Then for the men, they are body shamed also for hair, especially when you start losing your hair. When you start losing your hair, it starts eating, they're body shamed for it. So another thing that people are body shamed for is body hair. Yeah, body hair, especially women. For men, it's natural to have body hair. So, except men that their body hair is quite much, they don't really get body shamed. But for women, they get body shamed. And some women genetically have body hair. So they have hair on their chest. Some even have beards and mustache. And they are body shamed for it. Some have hair on their hands and on their feet, on their legs. And because these parts are usually exposed, they are body shamed for it. So these are some things that people target when they are body shaming. Remember, I have said body shaming is absolutely wrong. Completely wrong. There's nothing right about it. There are better ways to point out something to a person than body shaming the person. And for those of you who are just joining us, remember, body shaming is when you mock, you stigmatize somebody because of the shape of his or her body. So body shaming is wrong, and these are some of the things that people target when they are body shaming. We've mentioned weight, we've mentioned clothing, we've mentioned height, we've mentioned food, we've mentioned age, we've mentioned hair, we've now mentioned body hair also. These are all things that are body shamed. So why is it that some individuals body shame their spouses? Why? Let's find out the why. Why do people body shame their spouses? Because you see, if you know the why, you're going to be able to sort things out. So why? Number one, societal culture. Societal culture. So what the society deems as ideal for body shape sometimes makes people to body shame. So if in the society people that are fat are generally laughed on, your spouse may also pick up, because you see, when you live in a society, somehow the society rubs off on you. That's why you should be careful where you live. Even though this society we're talking about is much bigger than just the area you live, it's wide, talking about the whole country or whole world. However, it still brings to focus the point of be careful where you stay, because where you stay has the ability to affect you. You may think that you can control it, but you will only be able to control it to an extent. Before you know what's happening, the influence of where you stay will be, infused in you. So societal culture is part of what drives some spouses from body shaming their spouse. Let's even find out first, though, because some people may not understand this body shaming thing. You may not understand. You may even be body shamed and you don't know. So when we spoke about body shaming as being mockery, as being stigmatization. So say your husband comes in and just looks at you and says, you and this your big stomach everywhere. You're just carrying your big stomach and covering everywhere in the house. That's body shaming. Your wife looks at you and says, bad head man, and uses it especially when you people have a quarrel. That's body shaming. Your husband looks at you and says every woman's breast is pointing, your own is pointing downwards, that's body shaming. I mean, any statement that your spouse makes to you to shame you, to stigmatize you. Now, sometimes these things are said jokingly. However, the question is the joke real? If the joke is real, then you are actually body shaming the person. Please listen to me, everybody talking. Sometimes some of the things you say it as a joke. But if the person you are saying it as a joke to cannot see it as a joke, you are body shaming the person. So sometimes, husband and wife, you just prank each other, you just yab each other. Let's use the Nigerian parlance. You yab each other. And that's actually part of fun in marriage. You should be able to make fun of each other. But when it reaches where that person is feeling mocked, you are body shaming the person. So you need to be careful what you say. You may say it and you may think, oh, I was only joking now. But you say something and somebody has told you, I don't like it, categorically. And you continue to say it. You are no more joking. You are body shaming the person. Please, let's be very... I said you should invite everybody here. Invite your wives. Invite your husbands. Bring everybody here to hear. Whether you are the one body shaming or you are the one being body shamed, bring everybody here so that you can hear what it is that we are saying. These things are very important and it will really help your marriage. So back to why some individuals body shame their spouses. Societal culture is one of the major things. Raina says, my husband body shamed me until I told him I was not liking the joke. So he probably was doing it as a joke. However, it was now becoming something irritating and something you started feeling ashamed or, about it. That's body shaming. So let's be careful the kind of jokes we throw at each other. Yes, we're supposed to joke with each other, and it's healthy to be able to laugh at each other and just pull small jokes. But the other person needs to be laughing also. If the other person is not laughing also, then it's no more a joke. A joke is supposed to make everybody laugh. If the other person is not laughing, then it is mockery. And you need to be very, very careful when you do that. So societal culture is one reason people body shame their spouses. Another reason is background. Background. There's hardly any time we come here that we don't talk about background, because where you grew up, how you grew up has a big influence, a significant influence on what you are doing right now, your behavior right now. So if you grew up in a society where they used to clap and follow, those kind of, where children will be clapping and following somebody fat and be shouting, fatty, fatty, bo, fatty, fatty, that kind of thing, right? It will enter into you and you will not know when you bring it into your marriage, because it is a part of you. So you must be very, very careful how you allow your background to affect your today. Dr. Happiness says, if you feel hot from a joke, please speak up. Because if your spouse tells you they are hot from a joke, stop the joke. Thank you. Because it has moved from joke to body shaming. Or even if it's not body shaming, to shaming in any way, even if it's not about the body. Because there is shaming beyond body shaming also. Shaming in the way you do your work, there are so many things that you can shame. Bottom line is that if your spouse has complained about a joke, please stop it. Don't insist that, no, it's a joke, now you must take it. No, the person is not taking it. That means the person does not recognize it as a joke. So please hold your peace. Hold your peace. Very important. And I greet you, Omolola. Dr. Omolola here. I greet you especially. So another thing is irritation. People body shame because of irritation. This is where people may fight me now. But you see, the truth is the truth. Now, let's talk about a man and a woman a little bit. You see, what attracts a man is different from what attracts a woman. A man is attracted by what he sees. A woman is attracted by what she hears. And for a man who is seeing his wife, and the way his wife is looking is not the way he wants her to look, that's body shape, that may cause him to body shame. Don't get me wrong. I have already made it very absolutely clear that body shaming is wrong. However, we're trying to look at the things that cause people to body shame. And one of the things is when your spouse is irritated by the way you look, your spouse may body shame you. When a spouse is irritated the way you look, a spouse may body shame you. Doesn't make it right, but it is a reason. Oluwatosin says, what if he doesn't say it, but you know he wants it, and he's ready to work it out with you, e.g. small breast? Okay, we'll come to questions and answers. So just prepare your question. Please bring this question again at the end so that we'll just focus on the teaching and then we'll get all the questions, okay? So Oluwatosin, please bring this question at the end. All right. Another thing, again, is comparison. Comparison. So when you are comparing your spouse with another person, it can cause body shaming. So say there's a woman who goes to the office every day and sees her boss, a male boss, very well built, and then comes home and sees her husband. The man is looking pelenge. You know pelenge. She may start to compare between the two. This person, I like the way his body is. This other person, I don't like the way your body is. That's body shaming. So you have body shamed your spouse because you have seen somebody else. So comparison causes. So maybe if that other person was not there, the woman wouldn't have body shamed the husband. So, but the visuals of that person has now caused her to come home to body shame the man. And you come home and you call your husband all kinds of names because of his looks. That is body shaming. Remember again, no body shaming. Body shaming is wrong. However, we need to know some of the things that cause body shaming. And then finally, poor communication. Yes, poor communication causes body shaming. Now, so you have seen your spouse, there's something in your spouse that you don't like that has maybe developed, maybe it was not there before, about his body or her body. If you had good communication, you will be able to bring up that conversation and let the person know so that the person can make adjustments instead of body shaming the person. But you see, a lot of people do not know how to communicate. There are three major issues in marriage. You've heard me say this countless times. Three major issues. The first is communication. The second is finance. The third is sex. Unfortunately, for many people, this communication is poor. And that's the most important of the three. So if you generally have wrong communication in your marriage, trying to resolve any problem or any challenge is a problem. It will be difficult for you. That is why you must have good communication. I've told you people time and again that if you don't have good communication in your marriage, please go and learn. We have a whole course on it. It's titled Improving Communication in Marriage. Improving Communication in Marriage. You can go and get that course. It's a video course. Sit down, you and your spouse, watch it. It's in 2 parts. Watch it. You can get it on our seller page. Or you just, send the number to the number that will scroll on your screen right now. Send a chat, Send a chat to our number that is scrolling on your screen right now. If you get the right information, you would know what, because in that training, we taught what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. So what to say, you may be right about what to say. So maybe your spouse really is not taking care of his body or her body. So you may be right. You may be right about the timing to say it, but you may be wrong about how you say it. Unfortunately, many people say it this way by body shaming. And that's where the problem is. So you are saying the right thing, you are saying it at the right time, but you are saying it in the wrong way. So that now becomes a big problem. Poor communication. You cannot run away from communication in marriage. You can't. And don't tell me, well, we don't talk so much, but we are okay. You're not okay. You're not okay. You think you're okay. You're not okay. I'm telling you the truth. You are not okay. You're not okay. So you need to tell yourself the truth at every point in time in your marriage. There are many marriages that are just managing by. Sometimes when I hear things that happen in marriages, when people come to me for counseling, and they tell me this has been happening for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, it's so painful when there's a solution. You know, it's different when there's no solution to a thing. But most of the problems in marriage, there are solutions. It's just that people have refused to look for those solutions. There are solutions. So poor communication is a reason why people body shame their spouses. When they don't have good communication, they speak anyhow, and that anyhow includes body shaming. So let's talk a little bit. Oh, somebody just raised something here. Reina says mouth odor could be another target or area of body shame. I agree with you. So your spouse has mouth odor, and you body shame your spouse for it. That's very true. All right, so let's now talk about this weight thing, because I know that a lot of body shaming, like we said, revolves around weight. So let's talk about it. I mean, even though body shaming, we have agreed here and now that body shaming is wrong. However, we must also focus and see some things that can actually be managed. That the person is body shaming you does not mean that what he or she is saying about your body is wrong. I need you to take that point. So I need you to not overfight the messenger, but take the message and see what you can even do. Again, let me say, just in case you are joining us and you are wondering what's Coach Kunle saying. Is he saying it's okay for them to body shame because of weight? No, it is wrong to body shame. There are better ways of doing it. That's why I spoke about poor communication. However, it doesn't stop the fact that weight is a challenge. Overweight is a challenge. You know, earlier on this week, I had a conversation with my staff in the office. So we were about to answer somebody's question, and I had said that, wow, this person should actually work on her weight. And my staff came and said, no, sir, men don't even understand. Women must add weight now when they give birth. I had to stop them. And I had to invite them for a conference, a mini conference. And I sat them down. And I started to tell them that this is already a wrong orientation. That you have the orientation that when you, as a woman, when you get married and have children, you must have weight. Is a wrong orientation. And it's the orientation that people carry into marriage that causes issues for them. Somebody is begging me now, Coach, don't go there. You know, I always go to places that people don't want me to go to, but it's for your own good. So allow me to go there. Because we must talk about the weight. It is not okay if you are overweight. It's not okay. Because it is dangerous first to you. First to you. I don't know. Somebody should put it down in the comment section. Overweight is dangerous first to me. Put it there. Whether you are overweight or you are not, put it in the comment section. I want to see it. Overweight is dangerous first to me. It's dangerous. Overweight has breathing challenges. When you are overweight, the weight is pressing on your diaphragm, pressing on your lungs. You have breathing problems. Have you seen real obese people? And have you sat down beside them and heard them breathing? You actually hear them breathing. You know, generally, you see, you see people breathing, but you don't really hear them breathing. But sit beside someone that is obese, you hear him or her breathing. That's dangerous. You don't know it, and you're sitting down, and your problem is that someone is body shaming you. Again, body shaming is wrong. However, have you thought of your own health? Do you know some of the people who die for sicknesses is not because the sickness was so bad, but their weight was so bad that the doctors had challenges taking care of the sickness? Oh my. I have many doctors here. And they will confirm these things that I am saying. Overweight is a problem. Thank you for everybody. It is dangerous first to you. It is dangerous first to you. It is dangerous. I can see everybody putting it in the comments. If you've not put it here, put it. Male and female, please. We're not talking only about female. Even though, we want to concentrate on the female because they're the ones who get body shamed, unfortunately, more. But even male, it's not okay for you, a man. You have a pot belly, you are rubbing it, and you say women like it. It's not true. They don't like it. They like your money. They don't like your pot belly. I'm just telling you. So don't deceive yourself. Men will tell you, no. When women see the pot belly, they give me respect. They don't like your pot belly, sir. It's your money. Try pot belly without money. Try it. Try pot belly without money. Then you see that it's not your pot belly they like. It's your money. Thank you, Dr. Celestina. Dr. Celestina has come out. We don't like pot belly. Some time ago, my wife looked at me and my belly was potting. And she said, your belly is potting. Go and do something about it. I quickly ran and started doing something about it. So it is a dangerous thing to your breathing. It's a dangerous thing to your heart. The doctors are here. They will tell you. It's a dangerous thing to your heart. You have all that cholesterol and all that fat pressing on your heart, blocking. Fat blocks some of the ways the blood flows in and out of your heart. These things are real. Let us take the things. It's a problem. Diabetes is worsened when you're overweight. You can't, when you are even overweight, to even do exercise properly is the problem. They say bend and touch your feet. You bend, you are bending, and the coach, the gym instructor is telling you, bend, man, bend. You say, I'm bending. He said, no, you're not bending, bend, man. Because you look like you think you are bending, but all you have done is that you have only inclined yourself away just maybe about 10 degrees, and you can't move it, you can't bend again. Hi. Oh, I'm coming for you people today. Please, I'm not body shaming you. I'm telling you the truth. Some of you who are listening to me now, when last were you able to see your groin area? To see it is a problem. You can't even bend to see it. Overweight. We're talking about overweight now. We have paused on body shaming. We'll come back to body shaming. But let's address this overweight issue so that you don't go around giving all kinds of excuses for your weight when it is actually dangerous to you. It is dangerous to you. Rebecca just said, my husband used to be overweight, 90 kg, and the doctor asked him to work on reducing it. Overweight is dangerous. Overweight is even a struggle in the hospital. They are trying to put in a line for you. Maybe you are supposed to take an IV injection. They can't find your veins. Then they're now puncturing you here, there. Who is feeling the pain? Is it the person that is stigmatizing you, or is it you? It's you. So they puncture you here, puncture you there. They bring vein finder. Even the vein finder cannot find your vein. That's dangerous. Look, I'm talking about danger here. Let's leave stigmatization first and leave shaming and everything. Put it on one side. I'm talking about to your health. They poke you. They're looking for where to put a line. They can't find it. They can't find it. Somebody has just put there now. Thank you, Temi. A surgery of 1 hour, 30 minutes, took 3 hours because fat couldn't let the surgeons easy access. These are facts. Are you hearing it from the medical people? A surgery that was supposed to take just 1 hour, 30 minutes, and they're out. They've stitched and they're done. It took 3 hours because of trying to access where they're supposed to access too much fat. Oh my God. See another doctor. The dangers of obesity is really, really a long list. Yes, I can't say it all. It's a long list. Do you know even infertility can be caused by obesity and overweight? Oh, you didn't know that? Too many things. How about this one? Loss of libido. Loss of libido. Some people who are listening to me right now and who will be listening to me later on. Remember, I said share this thing. There's somebody that needs to hear this thing. Please share it wide and far to family and friends. Tell them to come and listen. Sometimes we all need this wake-up call. Because loss of libido, some of you have lost libido and you are thinking it's age. It's not age. It's not age. You are 40-something, you say you have lost libido. Maybe it is weight. Even 50-something, you say you have lost libido. You shouldn't be thinking of losing libido until you are like 80-something. Or you didn't know? You didn't know that people in their hundreds also still make love actively? Or you didn't know? Well, if you didn't know, that's why you should come for the course that we are starting today. I don't know if all of you here have registered for that course. But if you've not registered for that course, renewing the marriage bed, you better register. It's for your own good. Stop hiding inside that your marriage where you know you are frustrated in your marriage bed. You are frustrated. You are never satisfied. It was not what you planned when you were getting married. And you are staying in there. No. You better come and learn. We are doing, don't worry, I'll give you details when we're very soon, when we take a break, when we take a water break. But you need to join that course because this loss of libido, sometimes it may be caused by overweight. And then loss of attraction. Because your spouse, whether your husband or your wife, loses attraction for you loses attraction for you. Why? Because of weight. Cordelia is saying she can't wait for the course. Yeah, it's going to be a mind-blowing course. You know, it's a closed course. This one is open. We can't say everything here. That one is closed. So we will say everything. We're going to talk about everything about sexual intimacy in marriage. All the challenges, the solutions, everything. We will bring it to the table. We will break all the tables, carry the leg, and go away. But I promise you, after these 2 days, your bedroom life can never be the same. And as we say it in the couples conclave, your bed will get on fire. Your married bed, right, will be on fire. So join. If you've not registered, your registration is still on. We will open registration until 6 so that everybody can come in. Because the course starts today at 8 p.m. So you are done with work, you are done with everything, you settle down. Make sure you are in an enclosed place. Children, no children allowed, please. No children around you. I'm serious about that. The things we are going to be discussing are deep. So no children around you. If you need to go into the bedroom, close the door, tell them to go away, from there. Because we're going to talk deep things. So everyone must take a step to know the appropriate weight for yourself. Because there's an appropriate weight for your height. It's called your body index, your body mass index, BMI, your body mass index. So there is a number that it should be on. On most of our phones, you have fitness apps. If you don't have, go and download it. You can easily calculate your BMI there. It will just ask you for your weight. It will ask you for your height. So once you impute it, it will automatically calculate it. So that you don't need to go and manually, things have been made easy for us. So all those your smartphones you are carrying around, almost all of them have all those exercise apps. And if they don't have, just go online and just download any exercise app. You will see how you can calculate your BMI. Or you just go online and take BMI calculator. And it will just ask you for the variables. The two main variables, your weight and your height. And maybe your age. Yeah, weight, height, age. And then to calculate your BMI for you. And then you will know whether you are in, because your BMI should not be less than 18.5 and should not be more than 24.9. It It shouldn't be more than 18.5 and should not be more than 29, 24.9. Between 18.5 and 24.9. So if it is too low, if it is 18.4, 18.3, then it's low. That means you are underweight. But if it is 25 and above, you need to start checking it. It means you are overweight. Don't argue it. Don't come and bring excuse that no, I need to be a strong man. I need to be a strong woman. No. Check your BMI, everybody, for your health. Remember, not even for your spouse. First, for your health. For your health. People are slumping and dying every day. You hear it. Maybe your colleague slumped. Maybe your friend slumped. Maybe your family member slumped recently and died. And it looked like there was nothing wrong with the person. There was actually something wrong. So please check your BMI. And if your BMI is going over 30, you are obese. That is too. In fact, the doctors here will tell you, if your BMI has gone over 30, see, you need to go to a hospital quickly so that they can quickly check you to be sure other things are okay and then tell you the things that you need to do. Please, let's take this very seriously. Okay? Now we're going to take a short water break, and when we come back, we're going to be, wrapping it up, talking about the consequences of body shaming and what to do when your spouse is body shaming you. So just take a minute and let's take this water break, and we will be back. Often asked me how they can rejuvenate their relationship in marriage, especially when it has to do with physical intimacy. Some things that you can do is to spend quality time together, have open communication, and exhibit physical affection for each other. Instead of staying frustrated in that marriage of yours because your marriage bed is not on fire, there is what to do. So join us in the upcoming course, Renewing the Marriage Bed, and come and learn all that you need to learn about rejuvenating the physical intimacy in that marriage of yours. It's going to be from the 28th to 29th of June 2024, and registration has already started. Catch the early bird fee of 15,000 naira before the fee turns to 30,000 naira. Catch it now, register now. See you there. And we are back. Welcome back again. And we have been talking about dealing with body shaming in marriage. And we just finished talking about weight and how weight is so important. You need to check your weight, ensure you are not overweight. Check your BMI, make sure it's okay. If it's not okay, then you need to start doing something about it. Please, I want all of you to be alive. Yes, your coach, I want everybody to be alive. I don't want to hear somebody slumping or no. I want all of you to be alive. So please, life first. Okay? So please, I beg you to immediately, we're done today, go online, check your BMI. Remember to put the right weight, because some of those apps, the weights are in IBS or in other ounces or something. So check and make sure it's in kg, because maybe you measured yours in kg. So measure it, put the unit, the SI unit, according to what it is that you measured it in, and then measure it. Also the height, be careful whether it's inches is saying, or if it's feet, or it's meters. So you get the right one and put it in. I'm saying this so that you don't panic, because you may put in the right figure, but the SI unit is wrong. Okay, so maybe what is there is kg and you put in ounces or something. What is there is meters, you put in feet, and then you may now panic. Please, I don't want anybody to panic also. So please check those things as we are going on. All right. So what are some of the consequences of body shaming? And this one now is for people who body shame their spouse. Remember, we had said earlier on that it is possible you are body shaming your spouse and you don't even know it. However, you need to find out from your spouse, have I body shamed you before? Or are there things that I say that make it look as if I'm mocking you? Please, everyone should ask. Every man here should ask. Every woman here should ask the spouse, have I mocked you in any way? So that you can actually stop it. Because there are consequences of body shaming. There are consequences. There are big consequences. Now, the first consequence is depression. The first consequence is depression. When you body shame somebody, the person can get depressed, and depression is a terrible feeling. Oh, it is. So you can't concentrate, you can't do anything, you just feel the world has ended, you are just sad, depression. So you don't know it, but your words may be depressing your spouse. You may have been body shaming that your wife since, and she has now become depressed. So you're now wondering why you're always sad, why you always is you. You've been body shaming your husband, he has become depressed. Number two consequence of body shaming is eating disorders. So you begin to have eating disorders. So because you've been body shamed, well, they've kukuma told you are fat. They've yapped you and said that your weight is like a hippopotamus. So you just continue eating anyway, and that becomes more dangerous for you. Because eating is already a problem, you now go into binge eating because you are depressed. So you start all kinds of eating disorders. You just eat chocolate, buy big bowl of ice cream, just sit and say, well, they say I'm fat. Let me just be eating my ice cream and be going. Another consequence of body shaming is low self-esteem. And you see, the thing about low self-esteem is that you begin to look at yourself as less than who you are. So you are somewhere, you are supposed to make a speech, you can't speak. You are supposed to speak out, you cannot do anything. You are supposed to ask a question, you can't ask because you've already told yourself, everybody is looking at me, I'm nothing, I am worthless, I am useless. And that's what happens when you are body shamed. Remember, I am speaking especially to the people who body shame their spouses. So you are here, you're a man, you're a woman, husband, wife, and you body shame your spouse. I'm telling you what you are doing to your spouse. Please still invite people to come. We still have some minutes. Invite people to come and listen so that this can stop, because they may not know. They may think it's a joke, like we said. They just took it as a joke. However, see consequences, terrible ones. Then resentment is another consequence. The person who is being body shamed will resent his or her spouse. So you've been body shaming your wife will be resenting you. You don't know. You are there sitting down. You've heard people who just stand up once and just carry a knife and kill their spouse? Sometimes it's out of resentment. That's why resentment is a terrible thing. And please, if you are going through resentment, I had a whole class. Can you remember earlier on this year, we had a whole session on resentment. Millions of people have watched that video. Please go and watch it, just in case you are resenting your spouse. And resentment is a deep feeling of hurt against somebody because of what the person has done to you or said to you. Please go and watch that video. It's resentment in marriage. Search for it on our YouTube channel, on this channel, okay? And go and watch it, so that if you are resentful of your spouse, you need to work on it, because resentment can be dangerous. You can actually kill your spouse out of resentment. So the person who is being body shamed may be resenting you that is body shaming. Number 5, the person may do self-harm. You've not seen people who slit their wrist because they are depressed, or do something, cut their hair, tear their hair out, or start stabbing themselves, or start cutting themselves and feeling that the blood flow will make them lose weight or something. So self-harm. Do you know your spouse may be self-harming himself, herself, and you don't even know? The person just covers up his body or her body, you don't know. But every time the person is alone, I know, I've had that kind of case. I had to refer the person to a therapist. The person was self-harming herself, and nobody knew until it started affecting her health. So you may be doing that to your spouse by body shaming him or her. Then the worst one, suicide. Yes, you may body shame your spouse to the extent that your spouse will commit suicide. You don't think that happens? You don't watch it on the news? You don't hear the stories? It's everywhere. Even in Nigeria, you say, oh no, it's out there. In Nigeria, people are committing suicide because of body shaming. So you have body shamed, and the person has looked at himself or looked at herself and said that I'm worthless. There's no need for me to be in this world. Since I'm still too young to die, let me just help myself and go. So serious. So please, 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 instead of body shaming your spouse, if you see that your spouse has a problem, a challenge, your spouse is visibly overweight, no problem. Call your spouse, sit down and have a conversation about it and help your spouse to get out of it. Don't body shame your spouse. That's wrong. Totally wrong. Sit down with your spouse and say, my dear, this is your weight. I'm starting to be worried about your weight. And your weight can cause some health issues. Don't you think we should look for something to do? Can we register for a gym together? I'll register with you. Let's be going to the gym together so that it will keep us, on track. And if you can't afford a gym, get an app. These apps are free. Get an app every evening with that your husband, with that your wife that is overweight. You put a timetable, a schedule. Say every 9 o'clock, we're going to do some aerobics. Do it for 30 minutes. Do it for 1 hour. Consistently like that. Do it for 1 month. You will see the person will start losing weight. Then, of course, watch what the person eats also. Help the person. When the person is, gluttonous, you tell the person, no, this thing, yeah. And you help the person. You are supposed to help your spouse. You are not supposed to destroy your spouse. If your spouse is having a challenge, you shouldn't bring your spouse down. You should lift your spouse up. Did you hear what I said? Somebody out there, did you hear what I said? If your spouse has a challenge, you don't push your spouse down. You lift your spouse up. That's why you are there. I've taught before on the purpose of marriage. One of the purposes of marriage is protection. Protect your spouse from emotional harm of thinking that I am overweight. Then complete your spouse. That's another purpose of marriage. Complete your spouse and help your spouse to achieve that reduction in weight. This is important. It will help your spouse first and save you from doing burial. Some of you don't know, you are there body shaming your spouse. God forbid your spouse dies. Who is going to cry first? It's you, sir, ma. It's you. And then you are now wondering and saying, oh, she died because she's overweight. Then you could have done something. Instead, you did the opposite. So wake up, my brother, my sister, wake up and begin to help your spouse instead of body shaming your spouse. That is called positive criticism. Let it be constructive. So stop body shaming your spouse. Help your spouse instead. I don't know. I hope I have spoken to somebody here listening to me right now. Both men and women. It goes both sides. Both men and women. Stop it. So finally, how do you deal with a spouse who body shames you? So now I'm talking to you who is being body shamed. So your spouse body shames you. You feel so bad. Maybe you're already depressed. You're already resentful. You're already having these eating disorders and so on. What do you do? Number one, have a conversation about it. Have a conversation about it. Please, this video, spread it wide. Spread it to all your contacts. Let everybody come and hear some of these things. We want to save lives. This thing is about saving lives. So if your spouse is body shaming, you have a conversation, not a confrontation. Many times in marriage, when we say we're having conversations, it's not so. We're having confrontations. I was speaking to somebody in a counseling session, and I said, have you discussed this challenge that you're having with your husband? She said, yes, I've discussed it. I said, wait, let's take it one step at a time. Describe to me the circumstances and this scenario around when you discussed it. When she finished describing it, it was obvious that the discussion was not a planned discussion. It was just maybe the husband body shamed her, and then she lashed out, and then they start throwing words at each other. That's not discussion. Sir, ma, that's not discussion. You are having a fight. I'm saying discussion. Tell your spouse, I want to talk to you about something important about our marriage. When can we have a conversation? When there's nobody, just me and you. Your spouse will say, can't you say it now? Say, no, I want us to have enough time, maybe about 1 hour, 2 hours to discuss it. So what time? Then your spouse will say, okay, can we, this time, you people will agree on a time. Then on that time, even if you are leaving the house, you're going to a hotel, if you have too many people in your house, or you're just locking yourselves in the room and telling everybody, don't disturb us for the next 3 hours, then sit down and have a conversation and tell your spouse, you've been saying this thing to me, and it's actually hurting me. right now I'm actually feeling depressed, and I want to bring it to your knowledge so that something else doesn't happen out of it. I would have preferred if you had come to me and spoken to me in this, have a conversation. A lot of times, I'm telling you people, a lot of times when you claim you have conversation, because people will come to me and say, I've spoken to my husband, he doesn't used to hear. I've spoken to my wife, she doesn't used to hear. It's not true. That speaking to is while you are quarreling. People who are throwing words at each other. Please, someone should confirm to me what I'm just saying. Confirm in the comment section. Because a lot of times when we say we have conversations, what we actually have are confrontations. So you're supposed to have conversations, not confrontations. Let's move fast. Our time is fast spent. All right. So then number 2, both of you should get better knowledge on marriage. Some of you are here, you've not done one course in marriage. You've not read one book in marriage. And you're expecting your marriage to get better. It won't now. It won't. You should do all you can to make your marriage better, but it comes with knowledge. Just like that work you do, the work you are doing right now, because some of you are connected from work. How are you able to grow in that work? Is it not by learning? You people do exams, you people do courses and everything, and you continue to learn. Even if it's not formal courses, there's a boss ahead of you that is teaching you what you should know. And the more knowledge you have, the more you grow. Same thing in marriage. The more knowledge you have about marriage generally, the more you grow, especially in communication, for instance. So if you have better knowledge of communication, then there will not be that back and front. You will be able to have conversations instead of confrontations. So both of you should seek better knowledge. And at the Marriage Seal Academy, we have a lot. We have books on marriage. I have over 11, 12 books that I have written on marriage, on different aspects of marriage. Look at some of them here. Different aspects of marriage. Different aspects of marriage. There are many more. These are just the ones here. There are many more. All aspects of marriage. Is it cheating in marriage? There's a book on cheating in marriage. Is it communication? There's a book on communication. Is it conflict resolution? There's a book on conflict resolution. There are courses on all these things. Is it sex in marriage? We have a whole course on sex in marriage. That is starting today. So you have a challenge with sex in your marriage. Please come and learn. Stop thinking everything will just be all right. Things don't get all right on their own. Somebody is there working it, and you need to work it with knowledge. So please get better knowledge on marriage. Then work on yourself. Work on yourself. You too, you've looked at yourself in the mirror, and this was not how you are when you got married. You know it. So stop getting angry about body shaming. There's nothing to be happy about it, but don't get angry about it and forget the main issue. You look at yourself in the mirror, there's a challenge. There is what to do. It is not true that there's nothing that you can do. It is not true that when you have children, you add weight and you can't reduce weight. No, you can reduce weight. How about all the people you are seeing, the celebrities you see that reduce weight? Some of you will quickly jump now and say, oh, they did surgery. It's not all. No. In fact, the people that did surgery, the percentage of people who did surgery are less than the percentage that did not. A lot of them went into serious diet and exercise regimes and were able to get their bodies back. My wife gave birth to twins. You should have seen her after she gave birth to the twins. And my children were big. They came out big. They were eating very well. So they came out big. But you've all seen my wife. Many of you know my wife. And if you don't know my wife is Wendy Ologe, the Intentional Parents Academy coach. You've seen her. How does she look? She didn't have surgery. It's exercise. So you can do it. Stop running away from it. And then finally, speak to a counselor. Speak to a counselor. So if you have a challenge on your spouse, constantly body shaming you, it may have already started making you depressed or making you feel bad, please come speak to a counselor. And you can reach out to us on our number. Our number is scrolling on the screen right now. Reach out to us if you want counseling, and we will counsel you and help you, bring you back into the right frame of mind, and then help you, give you advice on further steps that you can take. Okay, so this is where we come to the end today of today's class, dealing with body shaming in marriage. And I hope that you have picked something from here. Please still remember to share this. There are a lot of people that need to hear this message, this short but important message that we have just preached, so that they stop body shaming their spouses and instead constructively criticize them if there is a need. And also for people whose bodies are a challenge to them, we have spoken about weight and spoken about what you need to do about it. So this is now time for your questions. Please put in your questions right now quickly in the comment section. We've already overrun our time. Sorry about that. Put your questions quickly in the comment section and we will be answering them. While we're waiting for the questions, I had spoken about the course that is starting today, Renewing the Marriage Bed. Now, marriage is a beautiful thing. Marriage is for enjoyment. That's one of the purposes of marriage. And one of the ways you enjoy marriage is love making in marriage, sexual intercourse. It is created by God. God gave us the ability to have pleasure that way. As married only, I'm talking to the married only, please. It's not for the unmarried, only for the married. So it is a way God has put to give you pleasure, to help you, to calm your mind down, to make you think well, to make you think straight and all of that. But for many people, you got into marriage and maybe you even got into marriage as a virgin. That was a right thing for you to do. But you are now in marriage and you are not seeing the enjoyment you thought that you will have in that department of your marriage. You are depressed, you lack satisfaction. You just do it now because, well, your spouse wants it, so you just do it. And you are not having any satisfaction. In fact, for some of you, you've started resenting your spouse because your spouse is enjoying sex in marriage and you are not. So for some of you, you are hot physically every time you engage in intercourse. There are so many challenges around sex in marriage. You need to come and register for this course. It's called Renewing the Marriage Bed. And we do it once every year, where we come and tell you about how your marriage can actually be exciting, especially when it has to do with sex. So we're going to be identifying the hindrances to fulfilling sex in marriage. We're going to be revealing secrets of enjoying the marriage bed. We're going to be revealing the sexual needs of your husband and your wife, because you may not even know. Your wife may have been complaining. Maybe you don't know what she needs. They didn't teach you in premarital counseling. Again, this is why premarital counseling is important. At the Marriage Healing Academy, when we do premarital counseling, we teach all, including sex. We have a whole module for sex. Maybe you didn't go through that. So you need to come and learn. There are things about your husband that you don't know. You don't know what exactly excites him. And maybe he doesn't even know how to tell you. He is ashamed because communication is a challenge. So he doesn't even know how to tell you are not doing it well. It's not okay. All these are things we will discuss in a closed, because we'll discuss everything. We'll open up everything. So come and register for this course. It's just 15,000 per couple. We have left it. The original price is 30,000. And immediately we are done with the live course, people who will be watching the course later on, who will want to watch the course later on, who want to buy the course later on, will buy it at 30,000 naira. So if you don't pay 15,000 today, you will pay 30,000 after Saturday. That's after tomorrow, because the course is 2 days. Today, Friday, tomorrow, Saturday. So rush in now and pay. Conclavites that are here, you have a special discount. So that one is in the conclave group. So you can, make use, and that's why it's beautiful to be a conclavite. Okay, you can go to the group and make the best of that. So this is the important message that I have for you. Registration is still ongoing. Quickly reach out to the number you can see right there on the screen. Reach out to the number and get all you can. Also, scrolling on the screen right now is our annual program. So if you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see our annual program that we have. It's on right now. Every year it starts in January and it ends in November. You've heard me talking conclavites. Those are members of the Couples Conclave. It's a 1-year program of the Marriage Healing Academy. And if you want more details, just send a chat to our official number. We'll give you all the details. But here is how to register underneath so you can register. This is quite different from the course that we're having today. The course we're having today is just a 2-day course. The Couples Conclave is a 1-year program. Okay, so let us now answer some questions. Let us answer some questions. So I see a question here. Let's see. Okay. What do you do if your spouse body shames you? Okay, this is just you saying the things that I said. Okay, beautiful. What if it's something you can't help? My husband says I have small breast, but he doesn't say it in an annoying way. And he's also ready to pay for a natural session for breast enlargement. It is okay if it's natural. When you say natural, it's okay. If that is what, remember, a man is moved by what he sees. And I hope, Oluwatosin, I hope you have registered for that course. Some of the things that you need to hear are going to be in that course. So if it is by natural means, by exercise, after you go for exercise also to also increase your backside. So you can actually do some of these things naturally. That's fine. However, I'm not a proponent of surgery. It's dangerous. So I'm not a proponent of surgery, putting implants and all. No, no, that's going overboard for me. Surgery should only be maybe you had an accident and they want to do corrective surgery. That's okay. But that you are made, you are whole, and then you are not, maybe you are not endowed in that way. You can use natural exercises to propagate it a little. That's fine because it's natural. So if that's what he needs to see, then it is okay for you to actually go to the gym and help yourself. And yes, you can actually get a little bit of enhancement when you do exercises. So if that's what he is saying, please listen to it. And that's why I say I hope you are registered for this course. There are things I'm going to be saying in this course that you will not hear anywhere else. Please come and register for the course. So I hope that I have answered your question. And I don't see any other question again. I can only be, okay, you have registered, you can't wait. Oh, beautiful. Very, very good. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So thank you very much, everybody. It's been great having all of you here. We will meet ourselves in the evening during the course, yeah? And please share the news about the course also to everybody so that they can come and join and they can make sex in their marriage better. My name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor and founder of the Marriage Seal Academy. See you again next week, Friday, when we'll come again with another Friday Live talking about one good thing in marriage. God bless you. This, enjoy.